Welcome to the third episode of the Fleet Racing Tour for 2013, the premier Olympic sailing series that showcases the world's top Olympic sailors and events. Previous episodes have brought you the renowned ISAF Sailing World Cup Palma, Trofeo Princesa Sofia Mafra, hosted in the beautiful Bay of Palma de Mallorca. The event is really the start to the European season of Olympic sailing. Here, the two new Olympic events, the mixed multi-hull event in the NACRA 17 and the women's skiff event in the 49er FX, made their debut appearance. The 10 Olympic events were joined by the Paralympic 2.4-metre one-person keelboat. We were then in Holland for the Delta Lloyd Regatta, event 2 of the inaugural Eurosaf Champions Sailing Cup, where strong winds and unseasonably cold temperatures were the main challenges facing teams. As always, the event organisers were innovative in their format, with a virtually winner-takes-all medal stage of racing upsetting the leaderboard for some. In this episode, we visit Kieler Woche, the fourth stop of the Eurosaf Champions Sailing Cup in Kiel, Germany. Kieler Woche can be traced back to a large sailing regatta first held in 1882. Today, sailing in all its diversity is still the absolute focal point of the festival. Kieler Woche is the biggest sailing event in Germany, combining racing for Olympic, Paralympic, international and offshore classes. Add to the mix a massive shoreside entertainment and cultural festival, and this is one unique event not to be missed. Kieler Woche always attracts big fleets and is key stage in the preparation and training for many Olympians. It is hosted in Olympia Centrum, the same venue where the Olympic Games of 1972 took place. In its 131st year, Kieler Woche still plays a virtuoso performance on the keyboard of festivity. From the 22nd to the 30th of June, more than 3 million visitors from all over the world enjoyed the colourful and multifaceted life of Kieler Woche. Around 2,000 events in areas of culture, sailing, summer festival, entertainment, science, politics, industry and sport come together to form a real maritime symphony. Visitors are offered 9 days of high spirits and festivity. The sailing program at Kieler Woche starts with 5 days of racing for the Olympic and Paralympic classes, then moves on to 4 days of racing for the international classes, with the offshore classes racing across a 9-day schedule. Kieler Woche is a rare showcase of the sport through the use of its innovative technologies. The live broadcast via internet, as well as the tracking and analysis program, makes sailing much more comprehensive, enabling to follow trajectories and provide all kinds of sailing data in real time. Race day 1 at Kieler Woche was a windy one. The wind filled in from the southeast with heavy gusts at the start, dropping a bit later on. The sun was out to make it a perfect day in the office for the teams out racing. All classes finished their scheduled races. Let's now focus on the 49er course, where racing took place right in front of the Silkzee, so could easily be watched from ashore and was also live streamed. The favourites were Germany's Hale and Ploessl, who won ISAF Sailing World Cup Palma with a dominating performance, and the very experienced De La Carthe and Resch from Austria. In the very first race, it was the Australians Parkinson and Warren who took the early lead after a smart tactical choice saw them choose the right side of the course. They were joined by Sweden's Ostling and Torlen, but they faced a few problems as the race unfurled. Hale and Ploessl had a disappointing opener, which only fired them up to get back to the front. Let's have a look at the final results after day 1, with Parkinson and Warren in 5th, Poland's Przybytek and Kolodinski in 4th, Hale and Ploessl in 3rd, the Austrians De La Carthe and Resch in 2nd, and the young world number 5 ranked team of Eriksson and Lutz from Germany at the top of the leaderboard. A good day for them. Day 2 of racing, and things got tougher around the track, with the wind increased out on the track to 14 to 16 knots, with stronger gusts pushing through. We joined the Laser fleet, who are only on to day 2 of racing. Making a return to the Laser class after the removal of the star keelboat from the Olympic program is 40-year-old Robert Scheid. Scheid has won 2 gold medals, 2 silver and 1 bronze from 5 Olympic Games and has won 8 Laser World Championship titles. To say he is experienced is an understatement. Experience counts, but so does youth, and the reigning laser European champion Philipp Bull of Germany, who is just 23 years old, is the new hope for Germany in the lead-up to Rio 2016. Scheid had a more consistent first day with a 2-2-1 scoreline, while Bull opened up with a 1-4-12 and went into day 2 in 4th position. But early days and still very close to the top players. Scheid was pleased with his leading position and with 3 Olympic medals in the laser class in top position. Having won the Olympics twice in the laser and then been away for 7 years as he raced the Star, Scheid has made an impressive comeback.
I'm happy that I can still play the game at a high level, you know, and sail against guys like Philipp who are young and very fit, and they push you to the limits. But I still have a game inside me, and I'm happy that I can still sail at this level and hopefully try to beat them.
So with 6 races completed in the laser class, we have Scheid in 1st, Brunning 2nd, Poland's Zamicki in 3rd, Bull in 4th and Stelheim in 5th. Of these top 5, Stelheim carries the highest world ranking in 3rd, with his best career result of the year so far being a win at ISAF Sailing World Cup Miami. On to day 3, and we join the new Olympic mixed multi-hull event, the NACRA 17, where 27 teams were battling for domination. There are some interesting new partnerships in the NACRA 17, which has particularly attracted crew from the former Olympic women's keelboat event, who are facing off against highly experienced multi-hull teams. The NACRA is the only mixed boat on the Olympic program and reflects the worldwide interest in multi-hull sailing. A strict design class, all teams compete on the NACRA 17 using exactly the same equipment, so it is all about the sailors' skills around the track. Let's get into some more action on the first day of the finals in the NACRA fleet. There were 2 real pre-event favourites, the Australians Waterhouse and Darmanin and the Spanish Martinez and Pacheco. Waterhouse and Darmanin were first overall going into the final series, but had a really bad first race, while Austria's Zazak and Frank sealed the race win. But the Austrians' fortune did not continue after equipment failure forced them out of race 3. Martinez and Pacheco followed up an 11th in the first race of the finals with a 6th and 2nd and climbed up to 2nd overall on the leaderboard. So day 1 of the finals completed, and the Spanish were just 2 points behind Sweden's Schoelo and Klinger, who scored an 8th, 1st and 3rd to easily move into the lead. 36-year-old Martinez is a Spanish sailing legend, and in the 49er class has 2 Olympic medals and 3 World Championship titles to his credit, including Olympic gold in 2004 with crew Xavier Fernandez. Back to the NACRA 17, which Martinez and Pacheco's 4th appearance on the elite circuit. They managed a top 10 finish at Delta Lloyd Regatta, which was preceded by an 18th place finish at both ISAF Sailing World Cup Palma and ISAF Sailing World Cup Jerez. So, time to move on up for this pair. Reviewing the leaderboard at the end of the first day of finals, we have Sweden's Schoelo and Klinger leading, with Martinez and Pacheco in 2nd, Italy's Bizzarro and Sicuri in 3rd, the Australians Waterhouse and Darmanin in 4th. Into 5th were Switzerland's Buchler and Brugger. On to day 4 of Kieler Woche and the second day of finals for the 49er FX fleet, with 4 Gold Fleet races scheduled. Australians Parkinson and Hall put in the best performance on what was another breezy day, with gusts up to 20 knots. They notched up a consistent scoreline of 9-2-4-3. Germany's Uchuk and Lorenz started the day perfectly with a race win, but then followed up with 2 9th places before finishing 2nd in the last race of the finals. Their teammates Lutz and Berker sailed solid to position themselves on equal points with Uchok and Lorenz as they managed to advance into the next stage of the competition, the deciding three-medal stage. So with the top 6 medal race lineup confirmed, we catch up with Australia's Parkinson, who was a former Olympic medalist in the 470, winning gold in 2008 in China, and goes into the medal series in 3rd overall. Behind the top 2 German teams and Australia in 3rd, we have another Australian team, Price and Elks in 4th, and Germany rounding out the top 5 with Meyer and Halbrook.
Yeah, look, we're really happy. This is our first international regatta in the new 49er FX class, so it's just great for us to be over here amongst it all and to know that we're in there in the mix. It's really close on points and we're in 3rd position heading into the medal races.
With the first 4 days of Kieler Woche now concluded for the Olympic classes, it is on to the medal races series. We will join the top 6 teams in the 49er and 49er FX fleets, as well as the laser class. Before we do, a quick update on the international class racing. With numerous classes competing, the action was close. In the 29er, with 103 boats, Lucas Rual and Emil Amaros were setting the running with a string of race wins. The recently launched B1 Kiel boat was making its Kieler Woche premiere, with 16 teams competing in the class. Whilst over in the 505 fleet, 5-time 505 world champions Wolfgang Hunger and Julian Kleiner were setting the running in this 45-boat fleet with a scoreline of 1st and 2nd places. But Kieler Woche is more than sailing. It is a festival which takes over Kiel for a 9-day program packed with over 2,000 events to entertain 3 million guests from all over the globe. Music stages fill Kiel with folk, pop, rock and classical music on offer. During the day, children get involved in the special children's playground and festival area in what is Germany's biggest cultural children's attraction. Walk acts, comedians, clowns, magicians and acrobats and a whole range of performing arts take to the streets, along with performances of opera, plays and ballet at Kiel's more traditional venues. Taking the opportunity to entice potential future sailors to the sport was Germany's Olympic hero Schumann. He took to the water with some youngsters to hopefully give the opportunity for a whole new generation of youngsters to get hooked on sailing. A great moment to be part of and witness. Schumann is a sailing icon in Germany, with fans around the world. A 3-time Olympic gold medalist, Schumann won Olympic gold in 1976 in the Finn class, and gold in the Solent class in 1988 and 1996, and silver in the 2000 Summer Olympics. He is also a 2-time winner of the America's Cup with the Swiss team Alenghi in 2003 and 2007. A unique opportunity for youngsters to get close to a sailing legend. On to day 5 and time for the 3 medal races in the 49er FX, to be followed by the 49er in some testing conditions. The absolute favourites were the Germans Lutz and Berker. They put in a solid performance of 1-2-2 to secure their series win with a huge 12-point lead over Australia's Price and Elks, who had a consistent medium performance with 7, 3 and 1, and this was enough to finish second, just 3 points ahead of their teammates Parkinson and Hall, whose ambitions were scuppered with a capsize in the first medal race. The decisive shot of the day belongs to Tina Lutz, who, when rounding the weather mark during the second medal race, found herself flying over the water, managing finally to re-land on the boat.
I feel really good today, really, because the conditions were really hard and you could capsize and lose everything, but today we won it, so it's great.
Back in the 49er fleet, there was some great medal race action. Germany's Hale and Ploessel were unlucky to capsize at the very first race, which then gave them only a theoretical chance of winning. but they gave it their all to win race 2 and then followed up with a second place in the final medal race. But it was not enough and they had to be satisfied with second overall. The final day was all about the Austrians, who were leading going into the medal races and delivered a 2-3-1 to seal victory and demonstrate who is number 1 at Kieler Woche.
We are really happy to be first in Kiel after doing a lot of podium places here already. And now we are really, I don't know, self-confident to go to the Europeans, and then we see what's going to happen there.
Behind the top 2 Austrian and German teams, Croatia's Kostov and Kupaš finished in 3rd, with Australia's Phillips and Mara in 4th, and Schmidt and Bohem of Germany in 5th. Over in the laser medal fleet, it was all on one medal race, with everything lined up for a titanic battle between reigning European champion and German Sailor of the Year Philipp Bull and the 5-time Olympic medalist Robert Scheid. Bull sailed the race of his life, with Scheid crossing just behind in 2nd place. This result meant the two sailors were on equal points, but Bull won on tie-break advantage. Where else was Bull to beat Scheid if not in Kiel? A successful second-year win in Kiel for Bull, who was predicted to be the only sailor who would be able to stop Scheid. Bull carries enormous respect for Scheid and was excited to be facing a legend of laser sailing out on the track.
I just tried to do a very good medal race, good race today. It was my conditions today. I knew that I'm fast, maybe a little faster than Robert. But still, Robert sailed a very, very good week, better than me. But now in the end result, according to a new scoring system, I'm on top. So I'm pretty happy, but Robert sailed a bit better, I think.
Finishing in 3rd was Sweden's Stelheim, with Australia's Brunning in 4th and Estonia's Ramo in 5th. Moving away from the Olympic classes, medals were also fought for. The Paralympic 2.4 metre and 17 other international classes, including the Swift Musto skiffs and the B1 One Design class of Germany's biggest boatyard, Bavaria, as well as the 18 offshore classes representing ORC, ORC Club, One Design and multi-hulls, delivering total participation numbers of around 5,000 sailors and 2,000 boats and yachts. With a comprehensive media package and innovative use of data due to SAP technology, the organisers were intent on bringing more attention than ever before to the world's biggest sailing event. Every day the stage area was showcasing live broadcasts, interviews with top sailors and prize givings. 2013 also marked the arrival of the Ezimit Europa 2, the biggest yacht that has ever taken part in a Kieler Woche race. The 100-foot yacht Ezimit Europa 2 towered over the rest of the fleet with a mast height of 44 metres and went on to seal 2 wins and claim the monohull course record at Kieler Woche, with Schumann at the helm. 102 teams from 17 nations took part in the ever-popular 29er event, but there was really no disputing who was going to dominate this fleet. France's Roal and Amoros had made their intentions evident after day 1, with a scoreline of 2 race wins and a 2nd place. And it continued, with the pair going on to secure 9 successive race wins, with the only blot being a 2nd place in the penultimate race before another win in the final race. But with 2 discards across the qualifying and final series, Roal and Amoros actually only counted race wins in their scoreline. Despite a rather up-and-down scorecard, Sweden's Svensson and Rosengren finished in 2nd, with Germany's Steffens and Braukmann in 3rd. Steffens and Braukmann, along with Great Britain's Bowerman and Peach, were the only teams able to outpace the French to claim the other race wins. Over in the 505 fleet, one sailor in particular dominates the fleet, Dr. Wolfgang Hunger. By winning his 20th Kieler Woche title last year, the physician made history, and every win he adds makes his record more unattainable. So the 52-year-old who raced in the German Olympic team in 1988 and 1992 in the 470 has his heart set in Kiel. On the second day of Kieler Woche, the serial winners demonstrated why they are up for the gold position year after year. The five-time 505 world champion Hunger and crew Julian Kleiner had to discard merely a second position after 6 races. The other 505 competitors could only take their hats off to their performance. But they didn't secure their win until the final race, with Germany's Kellner and Schuler breathing down their necks to finish 8 points behind in second place. It was a German top 3 with Bogacki and Derner rounding out the top 3 in third, 11 points behind Kellner and Schuler. Whilst Hunger and Kleiner were clearly the winners, racing was incredibly close in this highly competitive fleet, with lots of different teams securing top 3 finishes. But the Kieler Woche 505 legends are evident, and we look forward to seeing if they can continue their glory in 2014. On the start line for the first time, the new B1 Kiel boat has attracted a real mix of competitors. Amongst them is Germany's 2012 Olympian in the 49er class, Schadewald. Schadewald finished in third overall, but with only an 8-point margin to first, it was close. The Kieler Woche win went to Gordon Nickel, who took out 4 straight race wins from day one, with Christian Soiker in second. Schadewald is impressed with this new Kiel boat, of which over 100 have already been built.
And in every race we had the potential to win, and we're leading at the first mark. But we just couldn't get it into the finish, so that's a little bit disappointing when you can't use your potential.
The boat is challenging and fast to sail, but also offers a really tidy deck layout and trim options. That wraps up our coverage of the 131st anniversary of Kieler Woche and the world's largest sailing event, with over 400 races in 9 days. Especially high this year were the entries in the youth classes, assuring the organisers they are on the right track in attracting youth. Over 165 boats competed in the Youth 420 dinghy event, almost more team than can qualify for a World Championship. The best race series of all in the 17 international classes must surely be that of the brothers Helge and Christian Sach in the Formula 18 catamaran, who won 10 of their 11 races, discarding only a second place from race 10. The battle of the world's best Olympic sailors provided some nail-biting races, particularly in the laser fleet. Great achievements, performances of a lifetime, and experiences not to be forgotten. Kieler Woche has it all. See you in 2014. In the next episode of the Fleet Racing Tour, we'll be visiting the renowned sailing venue of Aarhus, Denmark for the SAP 49er and 49er FX Europeans 2013. In early July, the World of Olympic skiff sailing descended on Aarhus with 91 men's 49er teams and 37 women's 49er FX teams set to do battle in the first major championship of the Rio 2016 Olympic Quadrennial. Will the defending European champions Frey and Rocher from France manage to stay ahead of the challenges of the 2012 Olympic medal-winning teams competing, including New Zealand's Burling and Tug? With Denmark dominating both the 49er and 49er FX fleets, surely there will be one or more Danish teams up on the podium. An exciting mix in the 49er FX fleet, with the world #1 team of Maloney and Meach from Australia facing off against the world #2 pairing of Grail and Kunze from Brazil. The home team of Nielsen and Olsen, a pair who have really made an impression so far this year, claiming victory at ISAF Sailing World Cup Palma and finishing third on the podium at last month's Delta Lloyd Regatta, will also be up at the front of the pack. You can be sure racing will be tight. And with the 49er fleets pushing forward innovation, the event format is sure to be as thrilling as the racing. Join us for the next episode of Fleet Racing Tour.